Hi everybody, Dr. Anjana Bana here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are here with Nicole from AQ Solutions. Nicole was just doing a treatment on Sheetal in the previous video. She did one of the G-Fit AQ Solutions recovery serum treatments,
That's right.
So they've got so many other things. I know you've seen all the other videos where we use their filler and we use their skin booster, but that's not where they started. They started with all these growth factors, and in the previous video you went through in quite a bit of detail about the quality of the growth factors, where they come from, and why they work. And so that was skin, right?
Yes.
So, but there's a whole lot of other stuff you came to talk to me about. The one, she came one day and I was like, we have to do a video on this. This is amazing. So, okay, so one of the things, let's take this. Let's take this one, right? So this is the vaginal rejuvenation system. So I saw this in 2018. I think I went to Face UK. I was doing a talk and I was like, oh, what is this thing? And then, back then it still wasn't a thing. Actually,
it wasn't a popular treatment. It was very much a silent condition.
And I was asking you, I'm like, is this a in office treatment? But actually, what is this? How does this work?
So our vaginal rejuvenation system is isolated vaginal growth factors, specifically for vaginal dryness and vaginal atrophy.
Okay.
Now, as we know, as women going through menopause, as we age, our hormones start to decline, which means ultimately that with that decline in hormone, there is a lack of circulation. The tissue, the vaginal canal actually starts to go through atrophy. So what our vaginal rejuvenation system does is it contains isolated vaginal growth factors specifically for the rejuvenation of that vaginal wall. Now, most patients who are premenopausal, perimenopausal, sometimes even postmenopausal, or patients who have undergone hysterectomies that can't be on any form of HRT suffer from what we call the silent condition. And this is ultimately itching, burning, pain during intercourse. Ultimately, it is a lack of vaginal tissue.
Okay.
And so the growth factor itself is isolated, as I mentioned, and it's in the ideal pH specifically for the vaginal canal. You can see it's very much designed for the vaginal canal. This has our vaginal growth factor within it, and patients would ideally open it up, insert it, and then apply a few drops every single day for a course of 6 weeks.
One of these applicators for one a week?
One a week
okay.
For 6 weeks.
Okay.
Now, depending on the patient and the severity of the atrophy or the discomfort, most patients invariably do one and wait. It is that effective.
Okay.
Naturally, in terms of how far they are through that hormonal cycle,
yes,
they might need 2 boxes.
Okay. All right.
But our AQ fan base is the most powerful box that you can ever give to any woman. As we know, not very many women like to talk about these issues, and they think that there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
When in actual fact, it's due to hormones. And as I mentioned to you, very importantly, for people who have gone through chemotherapy and can't have HRT and stress,
okay,
this is ultimately something that they can use in the privacy of their own home.
Yeah.
And fortunately or unfortunately, keep it the silent condition, but they don't suffer anymore.
Okay. What is this?
Okay, so our endocrine system, mainly hormones, test being specifically for testosterone.
All right.
Okay, so how this little magic bottle works, specifically,
I'm
exactly.
going to be testing this endo test.
Okay, so
I know it won't make a difference now, but yeah. Okay.
For women, we only use 2 pumps.
So you're
going to rub it in on the forearms.
Yeah.
2 pumps ideally for women. Naturally, women also secrete testosterone.
It smells
a bit potatoey.
Okay, yeah, let's go in.
It's not a lingering smell.
Okay. Yeah, it's like freshly cut potatoes.
So this contains a peptide that is... Oh, that's too funny.
Okay.
This peptide is going to specifically penetrate through our circulatory system.
Yes.
Go via the pituitary gland, and stimulate gonadal or adrenal testosterone within the system. Now, men over 40 who aren't sleeping well, struggling with weight around their waist, obviously signs of depression, melancholy, not motivated for exercise or for sex, this is something that's definitely going to change in terms of their own formation or their own uptake of testosterone.
You know, because over 40 there is a decline in testosterone in men, and that is something that you have to test for. You know, that midlife crisis people often joke about. So that is one of the reasons you're feeling like that, and you think maybe buying a new car, getting a younger new girlfriend might boost it, like, you know, subconsciously. Yeah. But I mean, you could rather go check and get some endo tests. But testosterone, women also have testosterone. So this is also something a woman can use.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
And very importantly, in today's stressful lifestyle, stressful living, naturally we have a whole onslaught of stress, whether it's within the system or from our lifestyle. Yeah. And women, even from the age of 20, 22, are suffering from adrenal fatigue. Oh, yeah. And I myself actually went and had a blood test to check my cortisol levels prior to using this, and they were through the roof. And I had very little testosterone. Okay. So using this now for 2 to 3 weeks, I'm waiting for my 6-week mark, and then I'm going to go back and test. Yes. But this is something that is going to assist in lowering the cortisol and allowing for the body to, again, work as it should in its natural state.
You actually said that changed your brain. Those were...
Changed my brain. Okay. I now actually have the energy to exercise in the afternoons. Sleeping is much better. And I've noticed in terms of weight around the waist, this is definitely something that has changed that.
Okay, wow. Yeah. Okay, so, you know, 2 things I didn't expect from, that I expected because I saw it at a congress ages ago, but then I was like, wow, I mean, that was amazing.
And again, importantly, it is not hormone.
Yes, so that's,
very important, because a lot of men who go through testosterone treatment become reliant on that testosterone treatment for the rest of their lives, whereas this, like similar to an adaptogen, is going to enhance the body's own testosterone functions.
So a non-shroom. Yes, because mushrooms are in now, so yeah. Okay, but it's not a mushroom. No, from shrooms. I'm just joking. But
men would ultimately use 4 pumps per wrist on a daily basis. Women only need 2 once a day. Okay. You ultimately go through 1 bottle and then need to take a month's break to let the body adjust. Okay. And then you can start a bottle again.
Oh, so you cycle this.
We cycle ultimately to ensure that the body is working constantly by itself.
Okay, all right. And then there was something else. I know the active serum we spoke about quite a bit. Okay, and then the lash. So I think it's becoming more common knowledge now that the hair growth or lash growing serums that contain prostaglandins, you know, I mean, they change the pigmentation around the eye, they change the pigmentation of your eye so you get darkening. Also, recently now people have noticed that the infraorbital fat, you get fat loss, volume loss. Yes, you get maybe your lashes, you look like a camel, but you have like a sunken eye socket. So this here, when we were chatting about it, so it's eyelash and eyebrow. So obviously growth factors,
isolated growth factors, specifically hair.
No prostaglandins.
No prostaglandins.
Okay, so what does this how does this work?
Okay, so as a hair growth factor, this is going to regulate the cycle of the hair cycle, very importantly, because the products you're mentioning ultimately keep that hair in what is known as anagen cycle for a long period of time. Yeah. And unfortunately, when patients come off of their prostaglandins, they have a mass fallout. Yes. And because that prostaglandin has been used for 6 to 8 months, year on year, that anagen cycle is actually then goes dormant because it needs the stimulation of something. So patients invariably start to notice they have less lashes. Okay. When they stop using it, which, you know,
and then
they need more. And then sunken eyes. Yeah. So very importantly, the hair growth factor is going to regulate your anagen, catagen, and telogen phase, as with the hair complex.
Okay. All right. So, but this is applied with the G-Fit device, the dermostat device, into the hair. Also, same 4 treatments ideally, or more?
So that is 5 treatments.
Okay.
Done weekly.
All right.
Okay. But then the lash and brow enhancement serum is ultimately applied.
So that's a take home, and this is
that's an in treatment. That's correct.
Yeah.
So it comes in a little dropper bottle with a nice, very delicate spongy, which you can feel.
Soft.
Nice and soft. And ultimately we just drop it onto that and we apply. One drop gets you each eye and your brows.
Oh wow, okay. So that's quite a bit. And I know some people are, but you can't limit their products, so it's so you have to just one drop. Yeah,
one drop.
Wow.
And we're very importantly, it's not being re-dipped back into the bottle.
Yes,
so
because this gets thrown away.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Most patients notice that they get the density of lashes first. They might have a few lashes fall out in the initial phase because we're stimulating anagen phase.
So same as any hair rejuvenation process. So your telogen, you get mass shedding and making room for the new growth.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then this is star of the show, I guess. Well, they all sound very.
All of the awards.
What do they call it? An ensemble cast. But but this is star of the show, I think. Was this the first product in the?
So recovery serum was the first. So the actual treatment. Yeah.
And this is the active serum that you take home to support treatment and enhance. So this is 45%. Potency of the 200 growth factors.
That's correct.
Okay, all right. And great for anti-aging, wound healing. Can you put this in your? I mean, it's pricey, so I wouldn't make. But do you have something for hair? Would you go along the hairline with this, or
no? So we would then recommend the hair complex specifically for that.
Okay, all right. So at home treatment.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow.
So even then, you could even generally our treatment is a 3 ml of one of these vials. And the patient then takes home the other 2 ml within this vial and they apply that at home.
Okay, all right.
Onto the areas within 3 days of the treatment.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And done weekly, you can imagine the...
Yeah, so it's not only for hair loss as well. When you get to our age, then you also, your hair starts thinning, and we're talking about stress a lot, so it's a nice treatment to do. People forget about their scalp. Yeah, and... like the way we said they forget about their necks and their hands and all of that. So it's something to do as a preventative or a boost.
Change the density, make your hair a little bit more voluminous.
Yeah, so you do a chemical peel or microneedling. It's nice to include something like this into your treatment regime. But thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
So if you guys have any questions about this, AQ Solutions South Africa, you can go onto their Instagram or Facebook page and they'll answer all your questions, or you can drop any comments down below. We'll be doing these at the practice as well. Any comments, questions down below? Like, share and subscribe. Bye.